Right, hello and welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting, we're going to be starting our Marvel Crisis Protocol game with Venom. Hopefully this is going to be a good one. Right, so what we're doing to start off with. We're going to start off with doing the highlights for Venom himself. Dark Sky is the one we're going for. Giving it a shake and I'll pop it down on here. There we are. And we're going to get our brush, get it in the water, give it a drink, and then it'll work properly. Okay, so how we're doing this is we're going to make this, not that this is the main colour, but that this is a highlight, because a good highlight colour for black is blue. Now it's waste time putting a wash over black because you ain't going to see it, so I'm going to make it that this is the first of the highlight colours, and there's a nice effect on my little wet palette at the moment. There must be some water on the what do you call it? There must be some excess water on it, and it's actually what's the word? Cauliflower. It's, you know, it's spreading out. So it's looking quite nice. You'll see it when we come around to put the next bit of paint on. Now, as you can see, this does not show up terribly well. I don't particularly want it to. I want it literally just to be a highlight. So that's given quite a nice look to it. Next job. This is the one I am really been looking forward to doing. So the next bits, just move them over there, and I can show you the thing. It's matte white. Guess what bits I'm doing? The spider logo and the eyes. Oh yes. So I'll give it a good shake. And we pop some on the, oops, I really didn't need that much. It all seemed to rush out after a while. I'll see if I can do this using this brush. Now the eyes. Yeah, oh, the eyes, look around the eyes, look around the eyes. I think this brush has actually split bristles somehow. I'm not quite sure how, because this is the first time I've used it. So we'll get the see better now. Right, I'm sorry if I'm being a bit quiet here. I just don't want to mess this bit up. So yep, I think. I should have stayed with my size 0 brush. I'm going back to it. I didn't think this would be very useful for what I'm doing, but obviously it's the better brush for the job. There we go. And now the spider legs. I'll do this as best as I can here. I may be quiet, so if I do go quiet, you'll know about it, because I will just have music playing as I'm doing this, and I really wish I could have like the theme tune for Spider-Man or something, but it won't go down well. Well, it will go down well, but I suppose I'd get what a copyright strike against me. Yeah, legs done for that side anyway. And oops. I really should have a point of reference here, because I'm not sure. This oops, I'm not sure where I am with all this, all the detail and the moulding that we have. Let's see if I can find the card frame. Okay, I found the card, but there's no image there to look at, so so I will be having to do something to tidy it up and separate a lot of the leg designs. You can see where we're getting, can't you? Yeah, that looks atrocious on the back though, for the moment. Okay, so how am I going to do that? I've not a clue, but that isn't our immediate issue. Screamer pink. Guess what this bit's for? Oops, I just realised something. Still most to mind you if I do this first. There we go. I didn't want to use a lot of red on this. I didn't want to use the more traditional colours that you'd associate with Venom. I wanted to do my own little version of him. So he's going to stand out a little bit from all the other Venoms that's around. Well, he will to me because I'll know this is mine. Because the spider design obviously is pretty abysmal. Well, it is at the moment. It's not very well what's the word I'm looking for? It's not very well moulded right, moulded for painting, to be honest. Right, what I'm going to do now is get some black, and I'm going to go over to my army painter. No, I'm not, because I don't have the matte black one. I thought I had. Abaddon black. This is the one I'm going to use. There we go. That's the one we're using for trying to tidy up this god awful what do we call it? God awful mess of a spider logo. So let's see what can be done. You know I'm going to end up going backwards and forwards do this. Going from white to black to white to black to white to black. Look at the state. I hope I can do something with this. I'd hate to have ruined it before it started properly. But as I say, it's not a mini that's, you would say, is the ideal one for painting. It is just a little bit tricky. So we have our little gaps between the legs. I need to do is make sure that the white goes on now a lot cleaner. But I don't want to do that yet. I want to add a little bit of the white, something I don't normally do, into a lot of the blue. This is going to be the main highlight. I don't really want to go much further with this. There we go. So I'm looking at just making a few dabs here and there, just to make some of these muscle textures stand out. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to work between two brushes here. I'm going to go in with the smaller brush with the what is it called? Dark Sky colour lights, because I don't want these highlights to stand out too much. I think they are doing that. So I'm going to be swapping from one brush to another. Just anywhere we can see that the this highlight is left like a hard edge. If we go back with the main colour, we can soften that edge and make it look a little less hard. And we do that just by going over a little bit with this, like little dabbing motions. We're not doing strokes here, just little dabbing motions. There we go. And that's hopefully will look a lot more interesting. There we are. So give this brush a wash. well. I've been watching YouTube videos on painting Venom, and they've said the best thing to do is just paint it solidly in white, the spider, and then try and touch it up later with black. I'm not quite sure which is the easiest option, but what I'm going to try and do now is just make sure that the white looks like a spider. How's that looking? A little better, but as I say, I need to go over with the white. There we are. So before I do anything else, I'm getting out the Evil Sun Scarlet and putting a bit of this onto that, and into that I'm going to put a little bit of the Scream of Pink. There we are. And let's go for it here now, shall we? There we are. Now, I'll have that part as highlighted. In fact, I'd better have that part as well, but this time we'll, in fact I think we might use this as the base colour. The Scream of Pink is like the shadow colour. We've got most of it on. And we're just going to add a few little lines here and there along the underside of the tongue, just to make it look a little more interesting. But as I say, it's it's just the highlighting process that we're doing now. It's hopefully I can get this looking right, and then once I've got this as a nice flat colour, we can look then at giving it a wash in the null oil, which I said I was going to do. Now then, there we are. Oops, I've caught the black area again with the white. And This is the fiddly one. The one at the back. This is where I'm going to be a bit quiet now. There we are. It's looking a little better, but it's still not looking as it should. Let's just fill in this abdomen part again. And once we've done that, we can give it a few seconds while we look for the null oil, and then we can give this a complete wash over the null oil, which will lose some of the what's the word I'm looking for? It will lose some of the highlights that are too bright. Yep, found it. I haven't much left. Hopefully I will have enough for this. But I just need a bigger brush for it. And it's going to go all over the main body. Some more black to this and possibly a little bit more highlight, but I just wanted to make sure it's had the oily coverage. If need be, I'm going to have to give it another wash once I've done the next bit of painting on top of it, but we will find out.